In this part, we are going to time the functions. First, we use the time modules to time the functions. So, for example, if you remember, we have taught about the decorators. And the decorators is we can add the uh, functions to the original functions, but we can also turn it off by removing the decorators. So for example, the original hello functions has print hello, and if we add the wrappers of decorators, and it will print the before hello functions, and then hellos, and then after hello functions, then it will print all 3 lines. And then in this time, we want to import the time modules, and then the start time is equal to time bracket, and then we will pass the functions. For example, we have 2 functions here. One is using the while loop, so we create the function while, and the other is using the function for. So for n is equal to 0, and then this is equal to empty array. Then while n is smaller than 1000, and this one will append the math.square root n. So you have to import the math in order to use the square root functions. And then every time it will add 1 to the n to n. So after it run 1000 times, it will return the list. Actually, the for loop is doing the same things, but this time we use the for loop instead of using the while loop. And now we have used the decorators to these 2 functions. So for example, we remove the command, and then it will create the start time and also have the end time, and then it will output the time used is equal to the end time minus the start time, so it will have the difference. And then now we can execute the function while, and then it will have the time used is 0.0049, and we use the function for, and then we execute this, and it will have the time is 0.0019. So in this experiment, it will have the result that the function for seems more efficient than using the function while. And actually, we can use the Timeit modules. So what the Timeit module does is, first it will pass the statement that you want to measure. And because we want to measure this function, so actually I just copy from here, and then copy all of this, and then paste inside the statement. And now I want to show you that if we do not need the square root n, then we just need to use the timeit because this is inside the timeit modules. The timeit functions inside the timeit module, so it will become timeit. And then the statement is what we have written here, and the setup is equal to pass because we do not have to import anything for these functions. And then we try to run these about 100,000 times in order to make the time more significant. So we can see this is 0.015. And then the other is because I want to show you that if we want to do the square root, and because you need the math modules, you need to import the math, and the statement is equal to the function for, And so we execute this. The setup will pass to here. We have to import the math, and now you can see the time is increased because it has used the square root functions. And actually we can, for the Jupyter notebook, we can use this syntax for measuring the function for time and also the function while time. So we execute this, and the syntax is %% Timeit. Now it run it will have the time at the end. This is 1000 loop, and this is 2 millisecond plus 418 millisecond. And then if we run this function while, we go to the end, and we will show you in it 2.73 millisecond. So we can also use this syntax to time the function in Jupyter notebook.